Stock Market Pre-Show, giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Wednesday, January 19th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. By the way, my Twitter handle is @LarrySteinhouse, and you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and also other social media by searching for me, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Hey, you can also comment live on the show on, of course, YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And please say hi right now so I know you're watching. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock option trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, of course, we'll be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about the WHO and boosters. We're going to be talking about Omicron slowing. Exxon is woke. Oh, that's just funny. Microsoft buys Activision. Apple AirTags. You definitely want to pay attention to this segment. Also, California U-Haul shortage. All right, let's talk a little bit about the futures and what's going on here. Yesterday, honestly, was worse than expected. When the bond rate moved up to about 1.8%, I knew we were going to have trouble. I didn't expect Goldman Sachs earnings to be really bad, and that was all the market needed to sell off. The Dow dropped over 600 points at one point, and it basically finished down about 543 points. Yike. The NASDAQ was crushed, and it closed down almost 387 points. It was brutal. Right now, look, I'm expecting and hoping for a traditional dead cat bounce, and right now the futures are sitting here right now at 51. The S&P is up at 10, and the NASDAQ is up 45, so maybe we'll get something. Hey, I want to say hello to Tommy online. I want to say hello to Bill online, and of course, Jane online. Thank you guys for listening. I always appreciate you guys. And Sal, hey Sal, thanks a lot. All right. Let's talk about the WHO and boosters. Apparently, the World Health Organization is no longer getting its marching orders from big pharma or greedy politicians. And it was made evident by their latest announcement about boosters. You ready for this? There's no evidence right now that suggests healthy children and adolescents need booster shots to supplement their COVID-19 vaccinations. This was said by the World Health Organization chief scientist, Dr. Soya, I don't know, Swaminathan, whatever her name is anyway. All right, she said this yesterday. The WHO is also trying to use the efforts to get the most vulnerable vaccinated and not worry about the people who were never at risk in the first place. Ugh. You know, it was scary, of course, about 2 years ago when we had no idea what was happening or how serious a virus called COVID-19 was going to be. At the time, of course, elderly and people with severe health issues were getting sick and dying. Well, as we the people quickly realized, it was mostly unhealthy elderly or obese people who were dying from this illness. And instead of treating or vaccinating the vulnerable people, the world decided to punish everyone by locking us down and forcing vaccines in our bodies. Well, now, as we're ending the second phase of COVID, the scamdemic, we're realizing that many of the vulnerable aren't getting the vaccine because it isn't available to them. Of course, there are those who don't want it. However, for those who do want it, they can't get it because of their geography. Well, the WHO wants to concentrate more on these people getting a first dose over someone else who is just looking for a booster. And, that actually is common sense. I don't necessarily agree with the vaccine or agree that it actually works, but if people do think it works and it needs to be used, yes, get it to the people who need it more, not the people like you, not me, but you listening, who's been vaccinated and is probably perfectly healthy and doesn't need a booster. The other problem the WHO is dealing with is the question of how many boosters will be enough. I love how they go from boosters aren't necessary to how many boosters will be enough. I'm sure you've heard the rumors of the 4th shot and jokes about the 10th shot. Of course, the real problem isn't how many shots, it's are the shots actually working? Last week, I went over a long list of liberal politicians who have had both doses and boosters and still got COVID. Hey, WHO, keep my shot and keep the shots of my fellow patriots like you guys listening and give them to people who need them in other countries. Remember when your mother used to say, hey, there are people in India who are starving because you didn't eat your food, right? Now, and it used to say, hey, send my food to them. Hey, who? Send my shots to other countries who need them. I don't need it. All right, let's talk about Omicron. Well, as predicted, and to make it easier for politicians to finally end this scandemic, reports of Omicron cases are finally slowing. And here's some interesting data. According to Johns Hopkins University, the U.S. has reported an average of 800,000 cases per day over the past week. This happened to be more than 3 times the levels seen last winter. Hey, thanks a lot, Joe. I really appreciate you, Joe Biden, that is. I really appreciate you solving this problem. Oh, boy, anyway. All right. Anyway, so there was 3 times more cases, and it just so happens in New York, the average cases have fallen by 31% in the past week. And by the way, the new nutso governor, the governor that replaced the sexual predator in New York, her name is Kathy Hochul. She said, there will be a time when we can say it's all over. We're not there yet, but boy, it's on the horizon, and we've waited a long time for that. Actually, Kathy, I have to tell you, it's been over for a long time. But as long as you and your greedy cohorts continue to get funds into your state that you can appropriate to your friends selling PPE, well, you're going to continue to milk the common cold until such a time that you can be a hero when you declare it's over. And of course, that's why it won't be over for a long time. Cases are also falling in, guess what, South Africa. Remember, that's where they found it, right? And the United Kingdom, which are being closely watched as potential indications of what could happen in the United States. And since both experienced earlier surges, Hopkins data shows that the average infections are down 80% in South Africa from its peak in December 17th and 42% in the UK from that country's peak in January 5th. Experts predict the Omicron wave will fall almost as quickly as it rose. Really? You mean like the cold always does every year? Huh. Leaving the U.S. with relatively low cases of COVID sometime in February or March. It's going to end in February or March. I'm so excited. Anyway, with cities hit the earliest, likely reaching that point sooner. Maybe New York, who knows? Unless, of course, we need the president or the Democrats to create a new distraction, and then we will see the new variant introduced, right? Of course. As I've said before, the new variant should be called the masturbation variant, which closely resembles the true facts of the scamdemic itself. Mayor Adams in New York also chimed in on this after being mayor in office for about 2 weeks, and he's excited to report that New York City's 7-day average of new cases has dropped below 20,000, which is less than half the peak from earlier January when cases averaged nearly 43,000. The city also reported a decrease in COVID hospitalizations, falling from about 6,500 patients on July 11th to about 5,800 as of Sunday. New York City, Philadelphia, California, and of course now Washington, D.C., now have the ridiculous mask and vaccine requirements still in place. By the way, do me a favor, everybody watching, stay out of these places until they get rid of this. Don't you dare show your papers. How dare they ask? Anyway, the virus called COVID-19 has long left the building, but the idiots in charge were left there to carry on the legacy. What the American people fail to realize is this isn't the legacy of COVID, it's the legacy of, clearly, Nazi Germany, and we're all going to suffer because of it. All right. I want to say hello to Mick and Jose and Sal and Vin. Thank you guys for watching. And let's talk about Exxon being woke. Exxon being woke. That was actually the title of the article until they changed it. Exxon is woke. All right. Sometimes when I read articles and report on them, I just giggle at the hypocrisy of the topic and the seriousness in which the author wrote the article. Apparently, Exxon is woke. You know, woke. That stupid term that liberals use to describe how they're going to change the world by holding up signs and making pledges that are either not followed through or so ridiculous that they can't be followed through. Well, Exxon has decided to do something that actually made me laugh. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for their idea and their pledge, but the concept just makes me laugh. They're actually pledging, get ready, they're actually pledging to do this. Net zero carbon emissions from operations by 2050. Now understand that this pledge is about cutting the emissions from the gas and chemical production facilities. I don't know, did that make you chuckle? This company is producing gas and chemicals that apparently harm the atmosphere, but they're going to cut their emissions to produce the emission from the emission-producing products, and they get proud of it. Seriously? All right, you guys ready for this? It's like a white woman living in an all-white neighborhood with no black friends, never shopped in a black-owned business, but sticks a sign in her lawn that says Black Lives Matter. I'm going to take a break, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Hey, Dan, thanks for watching.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank all those people listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button. Dan, did you share it yet? Come on, Mick, did you share this yet? Share this. I can see when you're sharing it, so don't lie to me. All right, hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button. Let me know you're enjoying the show. And, of course, leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them. So Dan says, this is on fire. Finally, someone who speaks the truth. Best show every morning. I think he's talking about my show. All right. So far, we've been discussing the futures update, and the Dow is up 62 points, the S&P is up 11, and the NASDAQ is up 44.75. Hey, we talked about the WHO and the booster shots and why, I don't know, they say booster shots aren't that important. We've been talking about Omicron slowing, and we talked about Exxon being woke. It just makes me laugh. All right, we're going to be coming up, and we're going to be talking about Microsoft buying Activision, Apple AirTags. You guys want to listen to this report on Apple AirTags. It's really important. And we're going to be talking about the California U-Haul shortage. I bet you can almost guess what that's about. And, of course, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Come on, hit that share button. Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter. And if you're listening to WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Hey, also, when you come back, make sure you look up the Money Chat Now page on Facebook and make sure you like it as well. All right, let's get into the second half. So let's talk about Microsoft buying Activision. In the largest all-cash acquisition, Microsoft is buying the game company Activision. They're reporting to be paying $95 a share for the company, making the sale price $26.2 billion. Honestly, this is a really good deal for Microsoft and probably a great thing for Activision, which has been mired in management problems stemming from, guess what? Sexual harassment and sexual misconduct accusations throughout the company. You know, just think about it for a minute. Take a bunch of gamers that are used to playing games and watching porn in their basement, and they become big shots, and now they don't know the real world from the virtual reality world that they used to live in. Now make them rich as their company grows, and they think they can leave the reality of the fantasy world they live behind. And that's what's causing, of course, the sexual harassment problems in the company. Well, several of the management team has been fired for trying. However, CEO, check this out, Bobby Kotick, who has been pressured to resign is actually going to stay on during the transition, and then he will step away after he's no longer needed. And this deal, just so you know, the deal is actually going to take place in early 2023, assuming regulators don't squash it. And there's always that possibility that regulators will squash it because Microsoft is a huge gaming company. Anyway, with Microsoft's aggressive movement into the gaming world and the upcoming metaverse technology, this is a great move for them. Activision stock, by the way, yesterday was the only big mover yesterday when it jumped about 20 points and then settled down plus 17 points. Look, if the purchase price sticks at 95, this stock is right now, it's at 82. It still has another 10 points room to grow. So personally, I'm not a gamer, but look, if you're a gamer, let me know what games you play. You guys, anybody play any games? Put it on Facebook or comments anywhere or any of the social media channels, and let me know what games you play. I'd be curious to know what games you play, Fortnite or whatever they are. I don't even know what they are. All right, I want you to listen up about this one. This is about Apple AirTags. All right, for all you stalkers out there, have you heard about the Apple AirTag? That's right. You can take an Apple AirTag, which is a device about the size of a quarter with a magnet on it. You could stick it under the bumper or the frame of your victim's car and know where they are at all times. Remember, folks, this is brought to you by the people at Apple who changed their privacy settings on their phone so companies like Facebook can't track your buying habits. Yes, Apple really does have a product called the AirTag, but it wasn't introduced for stalking, although many are using it for this exact thing. It was actually introduced to help people track their personal belongings. For example, if you have a laptop or a tablet, you might want to place this device on it, and if you left it at your local Starbucks, you can track it and easily recover it. Well, apparently, criminals are using it basically to know the whereabouts of their victims. Not just to stalk them, but to know that the owner of a house, for example, is not home while the robbers clean them out. There have been reports of AirTags being dropped in coat pockets of women at bars, AirTags being placed in purses, and other places that make it easy for a nefarious person to track someone. Apple iPhones, by the way, do have a feature, if it's turned on, that may warn you after several hours that a tracking device has been following you for some time. So if you get a signal, you may get an actual notice from your iPhone. But for other phones like Android, you would need to download an app to search for the AirTags. Now, there have been reports on social media of people receiving this notification and then finding the AirTag. Some were hidden pretty well, and some took some time to find it. Look, if you get this notification, try to find the AirTag, and you may also want to call the police and report it. Apple says that they may be able to track the person who's tracking you through an electronic signature in the AirTag, and they're going to work with the police to help to find the stalker. But, be careful. Hey, by the way, Tommy, hey, if while you're watching online, I see that you just left and went to the bathroom. Hurry back for the next report. You don't want to miss anything. All right, let's talk about California and the U-Haul shortage. Are you back yet, Tommy? Oh, there you are. Okay, now I got you back. Okay, cool. All right. Do I even have to explain this one? That's right. California has a U-Haul shortage. U-Haul, the #1 truck rental company to move, basically, is practically out of one-way U-Haul rentals in California. That's right, because so many people are leaving the state and so few are entering the state that the one-way rental business is turning out to be a bad idea for U-Haul. As you may know, U-Haul has both in-state and one-way rentals. You pay a little bit more for, of course, to go one way, and you unpack all the stuff in your new home and then drop the truck at a local U-Haul rental center near your new home. Now, U-Haul, it was assumed that with the people moving in and out, of states often, that the rental locations would somehow even out, and it probably has been working for many years, of course, until the mass exodus from California, from the communist country that is known as California, changed all that. Of course, it's no surprise that Texas now has the largest supply of U-Haul trucks, and I'm sure Florida is the next largest. U-Haul has actually raised the prices for one-way from California to either try to slow it down or to just simply profit from it. I feel sorry for those left in California as Governor Useless continues to destroy the once great state. By the way, I saw this great sign. I saw a sign and a photo that was posted on social media, and it really made me laugh. It was on the border of Texas, and it said, "Don't California art Texas." By the way, a couple of people, Jane says she's playing backgammon online. Jane, if you're playing backgammon online, you are not using the system the best the way it is. Anyway, let's take a commercial real quick, and we'll come back and we will talk about today's picks.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the Dow is up 45, the S&P is up almost 8, and the NASDAQ is up 27.5. We talked about the WHO and boosters and why they're saying that you don't need them, but you might need 4. You don't need them, but you might need 4. I don't know, whichever one the narrative says. We talked about Omicron slowing, no kidding, and we talked about Exxon being woke. We talked about Microsoft buying Activision, and we told you to look for Apple AirTags, and of course, the fact that so many people are moving out of California that they have a U-Haul shortage. Coming up is today's picks and plays, but hey, did you guys hit that share button? Come on, Jane, hit that share button. Tell everybody to know that you're watching this. Did you hit that like button? And of course, you're going to let everybody know what great stocks are what stock plays are coming by sharing this information, and you can share on your page or in groups. So put it in groups too. And everybody will know the great stock plays that we'll be talking about. You can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube or LinkedIn. And of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market and get a little laugh at the same time. All right, let's talk about what's happening. So yesterday was a rough day. It was predicted, and if you remember yesterday, I told you the market was going to go down. I've been saying it for a couple of days now. But the bond rate was actually scaring investors into thinking the economy and the stock market are going to come crashing down hard, and that's the truth. But the bank stocks, which are usually a kickoff earnings season, with a bang, they came below yesterday. What happened was it came below yesterday when I forgot who reported, but anyway. However, today we had some good bank estimates. We had Bank of America report, we had Morgan Stanley report, and we also had Procter & Gamble report. And so far, these are going to be good reports. I will have to say that we're going to start to see the market start to come down a little bit as the Fed raises interest rates. And because of that, watch for the vacillation in the market this year. But we'll tell you that this is going to bring us opportunities in stocks and stock options if you know how to find them. Of course, if you don't know how to find them, reach out to me and I'll tell you how you can learn more. Here are some plays for this month. I'm going to highly recommend that you get into Meta, and that's the symbol Facebook or FB. It's a no-brainer. Facebook always goes up before earnings, plus Facebook is probably going to crush it. Apple will also do well. Look, and anyway, if not, I'm going to put an AirTag on Tim Cook and follow him until he tells me why. All right, also the airline stocks, I'm going to pull back a little and then jump in. Today's notable earnings, of course, were Bank of America, Alcoa, and Procter & Gamble, and they all are coming in right now. I haven't seen Alcoa, but Procter & Gamble came out well. Bank of America came in well, and basically they're going to set the tone for the day. And by the way, American Airlines is tomorrow, and fingers crossed it'll be a good one. But most importantly, what you're going to be looking for tomorrow at American Airlines is going to be the guidance more than the stock. So it may not do so well in revenue, although I actually believe it will do well in revenue. But I'm also going to say that guidance is the most important thing you're going to be looking for tomorrow. That will make the difference. And right now, and I'm actually surprised the Dow is only up 44, the S&P is only up 8, and the Nasdaq is only up 32, based on the good earnings that are coming in. But unfortunately, the bond rate is probably keeping it down, and that may be the problem. But I like the play. So if you guys want to be in the market today, I think you're going to do really well. If you bought yesterday, you're going to be really happy. All right, so let's talk about the crypto scene. Crypto didn't feel the pain as much as the stocks did yesterday. And Bitcoin is still hovering at around 42,000, and Ether is still around 31.5. But, I've been watching them, and I've been saying this for a while. I think you should wait for them to drop between 10 and 15% before you get in. Now, here's a play to play Bitcoin without playing Bitcoin. I would play Coinbase. So Coinbase with the symbol COIN, coin, is also a good play, and it's going to bounce back along with the crypto bounce. I like Coinbase right here, and as a matter of fact, I think Coinbase is sitting right around, I think it's right around 225 right now, and I would have a target level, get out about 240 to 250, even though I know it's going to be higher, but I would definitely play it. It's going to be a good play. Gold is also hovering at around 1,800. Silver moved up yesterday about 23, and I always find that when my auto buy for silver triggers, it's always at the top of the market, so it must have triggered yesterday. Either that or I'm buying a lot more silver, and I have a great effect on the price. All right, a final look at the Treasury Bond. Let's see what we are here right now and see what's going on with that. Right now, the Treasury Bond, 1.879. It did peak at 1.9, which is scary, and 2 is going to be even scarier, and I'm going to tell you, get used to it as the Fed gets ready to raise interest rates. Hey, of course, let me know. Let me know if you made any money, again, by listening to this show. We had a couple of people yesterday said that they did really well. And, of course, if you're a first-time viewer on Facebook, please be sure to tune in every day at 7:30. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And once again, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and I want to thank you for your continued support. And if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. You can leave comments even on the WWDB fan page and look for us online. My name is Larry Steinhouse, and I am the host of Money Chat Now. And I want you guys all to have an amazing and profitable day. We'll see you tomorrow.